Hey everyone, Eggman here. This is gonna be kind of a different video. I've got a lot of people asking like, oh, what sites do you use? Like, how did you build that deck? What site and how do you play online? So I'm going to just kind of share a couple of online resources that I use, and then also at the end, I'm also gonna show off on Tap and kind of do like a little mini tutorial on how to use it for people who are not experienced with it and are interested in playing online. So the untap part will start at this time, and then let's just start the video. Okay, so let's start with probably the easiest site, or not the easiest, like the site you know the most, and it is the DBS card game. This site actually has like a lot of good information. If you haven't already been here, it talks about tournaments, their clubs, promos. When like set reveals are going on, they're talking about what the new cards are, and they're promoting those. So and like low key, their card list is I use this all the time just because the card search isn't super good, but just like if I want to say, oh, I need to know what are some blue leaders, and so I'll just do like blue, and where's the card type leader? Boom. All right. Yeah. Meta is blue leaders. So let's look at all these options we have for meta decks now. And so that's what I do. It's pretty simple, but I like it. Also, looking through cards per set, like even if I just want to look at all the ultimate box stuff, I just hit that, and then bam, they're all right there. So yeah, that's something. This is just a really easy to navigate website. There's also the was it strategy or is it rule? That's what it is. There's the rule. This is always helpful for Rada, and then also the Q&A is usually pretty. If it doesn't get you the ruling you want, it sometimes gets you in the right direction for a couple things. There's no way to. There's other places that I'll talk about where I kind of ask specifically for rulings, but yeah. Next up, we've got Shenron's Lair. So you guys might have heard this place. There are really kind of like two deck building websites out there for DBS right now. Shenron's Lair is one of them. They've got a card list also, which is really handy, and it's all image based, and then so they have a little bit more of a. It's easier to narrow down, and the search terms are more are easier to, like if you use Universe 7, it goes through like cards that also have it as a trait and stuff like that. So it's better in that way than the site, and then also it has like deck lists that you can look at. Usually you can say which leader you want, and then you can go from there. So and lastly, your own deck builder. So I use this, and then at the end you get to see a big old image of what you have. Oh shoot. Updated. So for example, this guy. Who's this deck? I don't know. Looks kind of neat. %0 question mark. Created by 12345. Stealing this from next profile, even though they're running this card for whatever reason. Okay. That's about it. There is also DBS decks, kind of the same thing. They have a bit of like a meta thing on the side here where they show that, oh yeah, SS3 is still really good and people still really like the deck. So there is that. They have some articles, and then their deck builders right here. I don't super have a preference. I will say like sometimes I've got like stuck in like the loading on this DBS decks, but it seems like it's gotten better. So they've definitely been putting work into it. But yeah, that's it for this one. And then I forgot to do this, but there's the Reddit for DBS. I'm pretty active here. I'll usually comment on something at least once a day. And look, some people got some. Oh, nice. Anyways, some people pulling stuff out of packs. But this is kind of good for just kind of getting input on deck lists. I would say it's a bit of a smaller community, but there's some good content, and usually if I usually kind of browse this. Some people will post deck lists. They'll give me kind of an idea of for the future later, and just a bunch of good people. So there is that, and then also there is the Discord. So there's two Discords that I kind of frequent. There is just the big old like official unofficial DBS Super Card Game one. This one just has just a bunch of people. It's not like specific. The only thing that's specific to is Dragon Ball Super. So there's you can see there's huge amounts of card list discussion. There's deck list only, color strategies, custom cards, stuff like that. So just a big old message board for all that kind of stuff. I like to use the ruling questions is something that's really helpful for me, because if I ever have a question on the fly, I usually just message here, and then someone usually responds like pretty quickly. This is one of my favorite ways to get ruling questions or stuff like that explained to me. But yeah, there's also some online play and just a lot of discussion. If you want to look at deck lists or stuff like that, I really recommend that. Next up is the Stage Zero. So this is, if you know who Android is, shoutouts to Android. He has his own little Discord, and this is definitely a lot smaller, but that's kind of what I prefer. It's just kind of a more close-knit group of people discussing this game. And if you just want a barrage of information and everything like that, this is definitely a bigger one. But I personally just like the it just seems like a group of small friends to me. So anyone is free to join either of these. Both these will be in the description if you'd like to join. But yeah, this is not as much ruling, just kind of talking about how locals went, and if you have a deck you want some help or stuff like that. So, or if you also are into Dokkan Battle or Legends, put stuff there. So, all right, now it is time for Untap. So here we go. You have to create an account. I already signed in, but and there's also so there is a free account. I used the free account for like a couple months, and I had no problems with it. I did decide to support them just because I used Untap so much, and I feel like I want to support the group and everything like that. So I did do the Untap 5. And really, what it gets you is just mostly cosmetic stuff. The biggest thing is unlimited deck slots. You have 10 in the free mode, which isn't really hindering, but I am a deck crafter, so just being able to have a little bit more than 10 is really helpful. But other than that, there's not really anything. So let's talk about creating a deck. So Universe 11, just because I haven't made one of those yet, and I'm just going to do that. Is it just, what are their keywords? So the only thing about this guy, this deck building site, is that it's only by name. It doesn't look up traits, it doesn't look up by color, anything like that. Name's the only thing it understands, so it is a little bit limited in that. But like, other than that, it's totally fine. And so if you build a deck on like Shenron's Lair or something like that, and then bring it over here, totally good. So how you make a Dragon Ball Z deck, or Dragon Ball Super deck, is that it knows that you have a leader card, so you put something in the starts and play, so you just drag it on over. So I picked Jiren. Was it maybe I should do the new one. There we go. By default, anytime you put a card in, it puts 4 of. And then after that, you just put cards in the, let's see, let's put some of this guy in it. So there's a main deck category, and you just put cards in there. It will say on the how many of cards you have here. So we have 4. So if we put these two, you have 8, and then you just build it up to your standard 50. So it automatically knows not to include the leader into that 50, and there we go. So that is it. There start in hand, drop area, warp, life points. None of these, in standard play ever happen, and then there's also a sideboard. This also doesn't, since this is a really broad kind of like card game app. You don't have to, or it just has a lot of fields for potentially other card games or stuff. But it's pretty much this and life. So if you're like, oh, I like this Jiren, but maybe this Jiren will be better in other matchups, you put in the sideboard here. So it doesn't, you have to limit it yourself to 50 and 15. But yeah, so that's it. And then after all that, you have a deck together. So like this is the Kefla deck that I just previewed a couple days ago. I have 50 cards, and there are 14 unique cards. And then I only thought about siding Fearless Pan. So there we go. After that, you go into games. So something that I like to do, I just like to spectate. I hope these guys are okay with it being on YouTube famous, but yeah, you can spectate anyone you like, which is really handy. Sometimes if I don't have enough time to play, I'll just like lurk on some people. So that's really good. And then let's start a new game. So I'm going to join, and I'm going to make the password 4. Yes. Okay. All right. So here's the interface. We're going to insert. Let's insert this Kefla deck. So Kefla was in my starting hand, or starting area. So here it is. You can put this wherever you want. It's just a drag and drop. And then so here are some basic mechanics for this. So you look at whenever you hover over a card, you have this little toolbar. Oh shoot. Bam, there I am. You have this little toolbar that says what to do. So for example, let's just do the procedures for starting a game. So you can go to draw 1 here with the hand, or you can go draw multiple. If you hit the pound sign, you can a dialog comes up for how many you want to, a custom number amount. So you press 6. You look at this hand and you're like, okay, so I don't want this Trunks. So you hover over it. The middle, if you just hover over all these, you'll find the option you want eventually. But you put this on top of your main deck. You don't want to start with this one too, this one, and sure, we'll just keep these 3. Go over here. The shuffle command is right here in the middle. That one's pretty easy to find and universally helpful. And then you say you want to draw 3. 3 is also like one of the recommended ones, so you can do that. And look, we open Trunks. Neat. And then after that, there is a thing that says life. So you hit pound and 8, and there you go. You have your life. So this is starting up the game. You're good. And then after that, it's pretty self-explanatory how the how energy works. So let's say we want to charge one of these. So you put this. You can do it invert. So it's upside down, and then you'll also see like a little lightning bolt appeared on the card. It might be a bit hard to see in this video, but there we go. And then you can just pivot 90%, or 90 degrees. That's the tap, so you can tap it really easy. And you play Trunks. There we go. And let's say they had this on their field or something. So if I want to attack with Trunks, I can tap, and then I can either, I guess I can't shake my own card, but target source. There we go. So you can target there. Some people do this. There's also a shake card function, so I do that sometimes to say I attack there. It's whatever you'd like. And then also to awaken your leader, there is a alt face for your leader, so that shows the alternate face. Life points you can just draw from like normal. You can also just send to the drop area if you get crit. Nothing really puts to warp from there yet. And then at the end of your turn, you can, let's say you have a bunch of energy and then your opponent passes. There's an untap all button over here, so everything gets untapped and you get to draw a card. That's it. There's also some dice. Really only used in this game to see who goes first. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any like other tricky mechanics. There's just the deck thing has a like the deck dialog box has just a lot of options for you. You can look at cards like top 1, 2, 3 or custom amount. You can find a card. So if you're like using this trunks, like you can find this specifically. You don't have to like look at like top 34 or anything like that. That's fine. And it also, if you'll see, it has all the cards next to each other, so it's not like the order they are in the deck, which is actually really helpful. And I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions about any of the things that I put up here, please let me know. If this like little ragtag little I guess one last thing. So you can send like let's for trunks here we need overwhelm 3. So you go here to your warp, you send 3. That's it. That's as easy as that. Is there any other? I think that's really all the unique Dragon Ball things. You can make tokens for tokens decks, but you don't really need it. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. If you guys need any more help, if you have any questions about how to use Untap, please let me know. I use it like every day. I'm on here for like an hour, so at least. Kind of mostly lurking, sometimes playing games, but if you guys see me on here, please don't be shy. Say hi, tell me my deck sucks, whatever. But yeah, this is the video, and I will catch you guys next time. Oh, also, all the links are in the description for all the things that I showed, so please check those out. So, okay, bye.